are you?
All right.
You okay? Good. Right. We're going to cook some Moroccan food.
Okay.
Yeah, so, this is your company,
Yes.
Dukkah Delights. Tell me all
Dukkah
about
Delights.
Dukkah Delights, sorry.
Dukkah.
Yeah.
You've been up a long time.
I have been up a long time, yeah, I have. So tell me about you, tell me about the company.
Well, basically, I've been making Dukkah for years and years.
Right.
And I was a procurement manager in the manufacturing industry.
Right.
So I got made redundant and I decided that I didn't really want to do that any longer.
Okay, right, yeah.
I'm a big foodie, I'm always cooking, I've got
Yeah.
loads of cookbooks and things
Right.
like that. And I knew I wanted to do something in this kind of industry.
Yeah.
I just couldn't make my mind up what to do, and it was all my friends were saying, why don't you do your Dukkah, because
Right.
nobody else seems to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was
So
like,
you made
okay,
it anyway, just sort of for personal consumption?
Yeah,
Right.
always used it for in the house, but
Yeah.
decided the start of September we just launched.
And how's it been going?
Really just taken off.
Oh, brilliant.
Everybody normally says, oh, what's Dukkah?
Right.
As soon as you explain it and they get to taste it, they're away with the pot. So.
Okay, so tell us what it is exactly.
It's a blend of nut seeds and spices.
Yeah.
So the nuts are hazelnuts and almonds,
Mhm.
and I dry roast them by hand, make
Right.
sure that they're
Yeah.
perfect. Then they're blitzed up, and they're blitzed with spices like coriander, cumin seeds. We use floor seeds, so they're always at the freshest.
Okay, right.
And they're again blitzed up, and they're blended with
Yeah.
a few other spices, and
Yeah.
pepper, and then finished off with the toasted sesame seed.
Right, okay.
So this one here, the traditional one, that's the one that I've always started with. I've always used this one,
Yeah.
and it's a recipe that was given from a family over in Egypt. So
Okay.
it's kind of been handed down the generations. So it didn't
So it's
want
an
to mess with it.
Egyptian thing?
Yes.
Right.
So didn't want to mess with it. This is exactly as the recipe is.
Right.
These ones are my variations.
Okay, so they're inspired by.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
They all come from here.
And how would you recommend that you eat them?
Well, traditionally you'd serve it with bread and oil, so it's like an appetiser you'd put out for dinner guests, so you're making up the starter and
Right.
you dip the bread into the oil, then into the Dukkah.
Yes, that's what I would. Yeah, that's from my knowledge of it. That's how I would, had it before, and it's lovely.
Yeah.
Really, really
The only
nice.
problem is your dinner guests end up filling themselves up with bread because they can't stop dipping.
I know, and it's quite a
They're
different thing to dip with as well, isn't it? It's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, well, we're going to make some flatbreads, so we'll definitely have a try of that.
Excellent.
So I just want to get like a nice kind of sort of vegetarian kind of tagine type, sort of that Middle Eastern kind of dish
Yep.
to have with it as well, I thought. So I've got a butternut squash in there, and then so do you do a lot of cooking,
Yes.
right? Just for home?
Yes.
Right, okay. So are you have you started this from home, or is it, are you into an industrial unit yet? Or?
Well, my kitchen's probably bigger than here. So.
Oh right, wow. Keep you going then.
Yeah, I got an extension in my house, got a massive big kitchen, but I had that at the back of my mind all the time that I was going to change career. So
Okay. That's a good idea
kitchen
then.
suit, so it is.
Yeah.
All of it is made in my house by myself.
Nice. And what's the plans?
Well, we'll see how it goes. We've only done one show so far.
Yeah.
As I say, we only launched in
Which
September.
show is that?
We've done the BBC Good Food Show.
Ah, brilliant,
We won
okay.
the Producer's Bursary Award for that.
Oh, wonderful.
So that was a good kickstart
Yeah.
to get there and get the product out. So it was really well received, and
Oh, that's good.
there was 3 of us serving and there wasn't enough of us.
Oh no. You want to be selling, not serving, aren't you?
So it was really good. So
Good.
we're just getting over that. That was last weekend, so and obviously we came down to
Was that at BBC Scotland?
Yes.
Okay, very good. And where are you? What's been the most difficult part of setting up your business then? Because I think a lot of people out there have dreams to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, set up their business, follow their sort of passion, that sort of thing.
Yeah, well, I knew I had a good product.
Right.
So I was quite confident in that side. But
Yeah.
obviously the packaging, the designing, I
Yeah.
didn't realise how long it takes to set up websites. And
Right, yeah.
so, I've had to turn my hand to a bit of everything, so no longer a procurement manager.
Yeah.
Now a bit of everything.
Right.
So I'd say I didn't realise how long it actually takes to pull all these things together.
Right.
Get finished designs and photographs and things like that.
Yeah, well, I suppose if you get a website, then you've got to populate it, haven't you?
Yeah. So I'd say that was all pretty tough.
Right.
It was hard going, just getting all up. But now that it's up, it's just a case of updating it every time. And
Right.
we're still needing to upload recipes onto the website. I'm wanting to have a catalogue of recipes that you can use that you can. But for now, we just get kind of photographs and certain suggestions and things like that.
Yeah.
So
And where are you selling it from now? Is it just online at the moment?
It's just online at the moment, and I've got a couple of people that sell it in their shops as well.
Right.
But
Okay.
we're hoping to grow that. We're doing well just to start.
And is it just yourself that runs the business, or?
Yep, it's just
Yeah.
me.
Do you like it that way?
Well, no, it's good to have some help. My dad has to step in and do a bit of delivering and picking things up for me and running about. But
Good.
it's quite good doing it yourself because obviously.
And where are you based?
You know the decisions. Cumbernauld. It's just outside Glasgow.
Yeah.
So it's pretty central.
Yeah.
Good to get about.
I like Glasgow. It's a good city. It's getting really good for food, Glasgow now.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah.
A lot of really good restaurants.
Yeah. I've been to the Ox and Finch.
Oh,
I don't know if you heard of that one.
Yeah, I've been there.
Lovely. Really, really good food there.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it.
Hutchison's is really good as well.
Right.
I like them there.
Certainly come on from what it was.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Have you always lived there?
Yes.
Right, okay.
Born and bred.
Born and bred, eh? Never fancied a wander down south or anything?
Well, funny, when I was driving here, I turned the corner and seen these big mountains and I was like, I feel like I'm back home.
Yeah, well, it's not too dissimilar, is it? Yeah, so you got to see the mountains. We've had a few guests that arrived in the dark and left in the dark and may well never see it.
I only got to see them for about an hour before it was dark, but I did get a glimpse.
Well, we've got a bit of light now, although it's very misty this morning. So it feels like it's been dark for a long time. So all I'm doing is I'm cooking this squash, the onions, the carrots, the ginger, chilli. Just cooking all that down, getting it going before we add any liquid. And what we're going to add in, which I'm sure you probably know, is preserved lemon, which gives it that really, really lovely, authentic kind of flavour. It's one of those ingredients that you can't replace. You know, you can try and replace it with normal lemon, it doesn't work. You need that kind of really salty. It's just, they're incredible products, preserved lemons, really, really good. So I tend to not use the inside, I tend to just use the outside. So I've got the actual sort of outer skin, which is then rendered completely down. The salt has just broken it, so it melts and it breaks away in my hand. That's pip in there, snuck in. We'll just chop all this down and then straight in. And then I'm going to add in some tomato salsa. Oh. There we go. And just get all that in. Would you mind just half filling that with water for me? Thank you. So by adding the water, what that does is, because we're boiling this now, it's evaporating, so it's intensifying the tomatoes, so they get more and more concentrated. Whereas if I add the water in, it kind of lets it down, it'll allow the vegetables to sort of simmer in the sauce, and as it evaporates, we'll get back to the beginning again, if that makes sense. So that's what we're going to do, and just let that cook down there. And then what we're going to do is have a look at some bread. So if I just move this over here. Do you do much bread baking?
A little bit.
Little bit,
A
right,
little
okay. Let's just turn
I
this
used to
down.
make bone loaves all the time, but
Right.
time's a bit constraint now.
Busy girl now, aren't you? Right, so I've got this bread dough here, which I stole off John actually. John found it's one that he made. So if it's not good, it's all his fault. Okay, so what I thought we might do is take some coriander stalk. Okay, and I'll just chop that very quickly, nice and roughly. And then I'm going to kind of spread that out. And I wanted to work some of this into it. Which one would you recommend?
For the flatbread roll,
Yeah.
the traditional.
The traditional?
Cheers.
This one? Okay, real, right.
The whole probably good.
Yeah. So you use it as a sort of seasoning to things as well?
Yeah.
Rather than just to have a dip?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Right, well, we'll have a taste of that.
I was actually thinking, see your eggs from the last one. I have a soft boiled egg and I dip it in the
whoa. Now you're talking. Oh yeah, it smells lovely. So, is that sesame seeds in there?
Yep.
Nuts?
Almonds, hazelnuts.
Right.
Coriander,
Right.
cumin.
Lovely.
Paprika.
Okay. And do you experiment quite a lot, or with these?
Yeah, I do. I try to make different things.
Yeah.
I hate having the same meals every week, you know, try to vary it.
And do you think your customers are, obviously it's early days for you as well, but
yeah.
do you think your customers are going to demand sort of new flavours and things like that, or?
I think so. I'm developing another flavour as well that I want to go more with fish and shellfish and things.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try and get it a bit zesty.
Nice.
But
okay.
it's in the making just now.
Yeah. And how long does it take to develop a product?
It can take quite a while because I'm really fussy.
Right.
So I'm always tasting it and saying, oh,
right. And who do you test
it? It takes me a while to get it to the final
Who do you
point.
test it out on?
I've got quite a big crowd of people that are always waiting in line.
All right, okay, that's good. That's good. That's what you want, isn't it?
I know,
so,
I know.
All I'm going to do is I'm actually cutting this into little portions. And the reason being, you can kind of see in this little portions. Your spices there, just kind of tore a portion off. You wouldn't have that. And I think you kind of want that, all that sort of flavour working its way all the way through the breads.
So is that just a standard bread dough?
Yeah, just a standard dough, and actually John had enriched it with a little bit of butter as well. So all we're going to do is, I'm just going to try and grab a rolling pin, and we're going to roll these out. We're going to cook them straight in frying pan, nice and simply, and try them out with some oil and your Dukkah. Dukkah, yeah. I get the pronunciation right, you see. Must be the posh Yorkshireman in here. It's called Dukkah. It's like Harrogate. Harrogate. Yeah. But I've learned, because now I live in the Lake District, there's a mountain just around the back there, and I used to call it Skiddaw. Apparently it's Skidder. That is the proper pronunciation of it. There's all kind of random dialect words in this county. It has its own language in some parts. Really does. Although saying that, Glasgow has its own language, doesn't it? Yeah.
There is some programmes need a lot of subtitles.
Yeah, not just Ramsey Nesbitt. Right, so that'll probably do for what we want to try. So just warming, very dry pan. So you don't always need an oven to be able to sort of cook breads. And what we'll do is a little bit of oil into the pan, not too much, just enough. And then we'll pop these straight in. And these will kind of fluff up as the pan gets nice and hot. Okay. Stuff those in a bit of feta and be nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really nice just to chop up some mint and mix that through as well when you're serving bread now.
Yeah, no, it sounds good to me.
Dimension.
Yeah, mint. I love mint. It's just got such lovely freshness about it. So I'm going to make a dip as well, actually, for this to go with, and I'm going to use some feta. And we're going to kind of blend it together and loosen it. We're going to add some chilli, some lime juice, some lemon juice, A little bit of olive oil and kind of, but this is kind of the saltiness. So we're going to use that feta. I'm going to break it down a bit. So you had a full-on busy weekend then at the Cake and Bake, so the BBC Good Food Show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, it was very busy.
Good. So we're going to get some fresh mint and some fresh coriander. And a little bit of red. See if there's some more red chilli in there for me. Oh, perfect. Thank you. Yeah.
I've actually nearly lost my voice by the end of the show because I'd been talking so much for 3 days.
And the same thing. Oh, it's part of the course, isn't it? You kind of have to do it. So, in with some olive oil. We're going to kind of loosen this up. Yeah, well, it's going to kind of be a dip.
Yeah.
We want to kind of loosen it. I might even add a little bit more yet. Okay. We'll just move that herb over there. So these should be just toasting, coming up. So you think a little bit of, which one?
The hot one.
You want to go in the hot one of the Dukkah, right?
And when I say it's hot, it's not really hot, it's just like a nice warming.
Okay, so how much would you recommend?
I'd be pretty generous with it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. And presumably if you put this in too early, it will start to swell up.
Yeah.
I think John wants to try this. Thought he did.
Lovely. Thank
tell.
you.
So we'll just work that.
Yeah, a lot of the dishes you just put them in at the end, put it at the end, just to finish it off. If you were doing it in the oven, you could put it on before it goes in the oven if it's a top crust.
Right.
Because it'll stay dry.
Okay. So you could probably make like kind of savoury crumbles, and you could probably just sprinkle that straight onto chicken breast, couldn't you? And just roast it in the oven, and you get that nice kind of crumb. Lovely.
It was really nice on fish. The hot one, particularly really nice on salad.
Well, John's kind of very much into his fish.
That's
nice.
Cool. Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you might.
There's a wee bit of now.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
The sweet one, the product itself isn't sweet.
No.
It's just designed to go with sweet things.
Right. Okay.
So,
like what?
Cinnamon, clove. Think of these flavours. What it
Right.
with apples.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Through the crumble mix, things like that.
Nice. So we'll just mix a little bit of chilli in there, and then I'm going to grab some lime, just to kind of balance the acidity and get the. Yeah, they're just kind of coming together now. Actually, John's relieved. Okay. Phew, John.
Indeed.
Right, let me see if there's a lime or a lemon in here or something. An orange, I'm not sure what they thought I was going to do with that.
Lime.
Or a lemon. I've got... one will magically appear in a minute. No, it will. Okay, let's lift these breads out. Let them rest. Thank you, John. Just turn that heat off. Okay. Beautiful. Right. So, a bit of lime juice, I think. We'll just... pull that together because it's quite salty with the feta. And then we've got the chilli, we've got all the mint. I think this is going to go really nicely. Take this away. I'll burn it off.
Jar, isn't
It is, yeah. Do you use those?
Yeah.
Yeah. We have those, and then we also have some of the actual salted, traditional salted ones.
Not the ones that Get the cut in them that you pack yourself.
Well, what we tend to do is we use them, we make lemonade, lemon curd, that sort of thing, and then what we do is we actually pack them in salt, so they end up looking like this, and we wash them off, and then use them. But they're kind of, these are quite old now actually, so they're just melting away. Similar, but those ones are sort of brined, if you like. But you get the same result. But it's just something we try and do, just to use up our leftovers really, which is always a good place to start. I think with cooking, leftovers usually represent the best opportunities, I think, for good flavour. Right. So there's our feta dip. We'll have a little taste of that in a minute. What I'll do is just have a little tidy up, because I'm one of few men that does tidying up. There aren't many of us.
My son definitely doesn't know how to tidy up.
Does he not?
It's a disaster when he's been in the kitchen.
Well, my mum might say the same from when I was there. Well, in fact, I'm sure she would.
I have to follow him round you for.
Yeah. Okay, let's just have a look at this. So we've got that lovely tagine. I just want to check and see how tender. Usually I check if the squash and things like that are tender, then everything else is going to be. So I usually go for sort of the biggest vegetable. So not quite there yet. But nice flavour. Good flavour. I'm going to let that cook and then have a try of that. Right. So we're going to have loads of fresh mint in there at the end. Okay. What do you like for time?
20 past.
20 past? Okay. Well, that's alright.
It's time.
Right, well, good clean. Right, let's have a taste of your product, because I'm dying to try this. Let me get some oil. I've got an olive oil here to try, I know that. Is it kind of a matter of is oil on the plate and the dukkah on a plate as well, yeah? Which one should we try?
It's up to you. I know what they're all like, they're all good.
There we go. So you need the oil, then to stick, so this is the original one, yeah? Okay. Let's try them all, haven't we, really?
Yeah,
There we go. Right. So, help yourself, have a try as well, please, dig in.
excellent. Let me try this one first.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Yeah? Good. Simple. Yeah.
You could really just sit and dip away at that one.
Yeah.
couldn't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Great.
Look at that.
I'm
Lovely.
actually going to cheat and just do it all.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Schoolboy area, you see, I did the other one. We've got some fish, John, that we could cook with some of this. In the fish fridge? Yeah. Alright. Sorry, you were just nodding off there, weren't you, fella? I noticed that. Teach you.
It was about that.
Yeah.
This is the traditional way.
Right, so oiling first and then,
Yeah, bread, oil, sticks to the bread.
Yeah. Lovely. I like that.
That bread's great.
Good. So it's just a little bit of your dukkah and then just some coriander stalk really. So the sort of the leaf we would be using in the tagine at the end.
Yeah.
And then the stalk in through the breads. Just a good way to use up a bit of. I always end up having bits of bread dough left over in the fridge all the time. So we just wait for the squash to cook. But if you want to have a dip with your bread.
That's really nice.
Good. What we got? Oh, nice. Thank you very much.
Lovely.
Scallops, cod is that?
Yeah.
Cod, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Brill. Right. So what we're going to do is we'll just move these over a little bit, and I've got some phyllo to cook. So we're kind of going to keep the whole thing, get the pan warm. Just going to make some little phyllo parcels with some spinach and some of that feta, and I'm going to sprinkle some of the dukkah in there as well. So straight in with the spinach. Spinach got loads of water in it, so we're going to try and get rid of the water because it's absolutely the enemy of this stuff. So yeah, I'll grab it in a minute. Cheers, John. Thank you. So we'll get our phyllo out. Keep cooking down. We'll not make too many. So will you be developing any products outside of the dukkah, or?
I do have one up my sleeve.
Right. You're keeping quiet, are you? I wouldn't want to play cards against you, honestly. Hey.
No, it's another seasoning that I actually make all the time. And I go to it all the time. It's a Greek seasoning for gyros.
Right.
So anything that tastes kebab-like.
Right.
Basically, basically a lot of dry rub for it.
And is this kind of where you like to go on holiday? Is that kind of where it's come from?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But do you go, is it Egypt? Do you continue to go there, or is it just when you've been before?
No, I mean I've only been the once before.
Right. But you got the book?
It's more, kind of research into things.
Right.
But as I say, I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to cooking, so if I try something once and I'm not too sure about it,
right.
I'll start researching it on the internet and trying different recipes till I find one that I do think's right.
Fair enough. Hey, if it works for you, you've built a business out of it. Well done, you.
But the gyros that I have eaten a lot of, and I was just, when I finally got my hands on a decent recipe for it, I make it all the time now.
Okay.
But again, I'm always tweaking things. So it has slightly changed since the original recipe with gyros. But
has it?
Yeah, but it's just from my own palate basically. I think
so you've changed it for your own palate rather than your customers?
Yeah, well I've not got any customers for that yet because I'm still developing it.
Ah, I see, right. I thought you might have tried it out on them or something.
No, I have got quite a few friends that come round and try and get a packet off me to take away.
Right.
They always come in the house and go out with something.
Right, well that's a good one. A good way to have it. Okay, so I'm just letting that spinach just kind of get rid of the moisture, let it evaporate a little bit. I've got most of the moisture out of it. But no, we haven't overcooked it for long. You don't want to cook spinach for too long, otherwise it just gets a little bit slimy and a little bit not good. Okay. So we're going to take some of this spinach, some of the feta, and if we cut down the middle, oven's on. Shut the panic on then. Okay, take some of the spinach, give it a little squeeze. Still a little bit of moisture, yeah. And then we're going to go with the hot. This one. I put two down, I can't tell the difference. There we go. And then we're going to fold over that way to a triangle. So we're going to kind of almost make a samosa, if you like.
Yeah.
So over to a triangle, and then over on the right angle, then across, and then over again, over, and then we'll just use a little bit of moisture from that oil there, and that will just hopefully stick it down, and it's kind of sealed up all possible gaps.
Yeah.
And you can use, leftover tagine, curries, all sorts with this. So it's a nice little technique to be able to use. I've even done I've done my mixed pies like this before.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah. And that spinach just gives it that sort of freshness. So over it goes. And a bit of that oil. There we go. So we'll just get a tray. Touch of oil on the tray so that they don't stick. Just kind of rub that on there. And then pop the phyllo pie there. Flip it over. Same on that one. And these won't take long to cook. These won't take long at all. 180 degrees, maybe 10 minutes. They'll crisp up nicely. Okay. I'm going to pop that spinach in there. Waste not, want not. Okay. Clean down. Whoop. Down there. That one there for the minute. Don't want to knock those over, do we?
I know, that'll
be trouble. That'll be trouble.
We had a good hoover.
Yeah, I think we will be at the end. The end. I had a sweep up at about 2 AM this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long did you get?
Just a quick journal, just a
maybe
quick.
10 minutes.
Yeah. I just thought, right, I'm gonna have a sweep up. I couldn't cope with it, so you know, try and keep on top of it. And it's not such a mammoth job at the end.
That was like our stall last weekend. We looked at the end of the day, there was just seeds everywhere.
Yeah, well, do you know what? As long as
Seeds
the
and
customers
cocktail
doesn't
sticks.
see it, it's all right. So I'm gonna get a pan nice and hot, and we're gonna cook some of this. I'm going to cook some of the kale with some of this trout. Cod. Oh dear. Help.
It's been a long night.
It has. So we're just going to take the kale. Do you eat kale?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm just going to take the big stalk out of the middle because it takes longer to cook.
Yeah, I remember I left it in once and it was like...
Yeah. And it's nice if you don't overcook it.
Yeah.
And getting that bit right. So we've got our cod here. So we're going to get a little bit of oil on there and some flavouring. Get some salt on there first, so that we can get a nice crispy skin. And then we're going to put the dukkah on the other side, on the flesh side, so we can actually get some penetration into there. So. Pan's hot. Lay it down now flat. And just kind of hold it there for maybe 20 seconds. Because often with fresh fish it naturally wants to kind of curl up a little bit. So you just hold it. There we go, right, I'm just going to wash my hands. So you'd recommend the BBC Good Food Show?
Yes, it was very, very busy.
Any top tips for anybody who's thinking about going there?
I've lots of hands to help you.
Yeah, was it? Did you underestimate how busy you would be?
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
And it was completely sold out on a Sunday, and I'd actually what I intended on selling, and what I thought I'd be selling.
Yeah.
And then I'd done another third again to be
Okay.
the safe side, and ended up this wiped out at the end
Right.
of Sunday. So
But that was a good feeling?
it was really good, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
really
sure.
good.
Brilliant.
But as I say, it was all experience, you know.
Yeah.
I know to do more next time.
Are you going to do it again?
Like that. Yeah, definitely.
In Scotland, or are you going to go for...
No, I think
you're
I'm
gonna
going
go
to
down
try
to
Birmingham or
Yeah.
Highgate or something like that.
Birmingham's the biggie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Soon, is it?
Well, there's one next June.
Right, so there's a
So-
summer one and a winter one, isn't there? Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the winter one's next weekend, I think. That's too soon to be ready.
Yeah, really, you maybe haven't made the stock yet, have you? No. Right, let's just flip this over. So you can see the skin's just crisping up nicely. All I want to do is kind of just seal the other side so that we can then get the dukkah on there. So that's enough. So what we'd like to do is, which one are we going to go? We said the hot, didn't we, to go fish? Real. My hands are beyond coordination. There we go. Right. I think what we will do first, actually, is I'm just going to show you a little trick. So when you're cooking things like fish like this, what we're going to do is take a slice of butter, pop it there, and then the dukkah on top. And what happens is that butter melts straight into the fish.
That'll take the flavours with it then.
Yeah. And it keeps it nice and sort of moist. And that works with a lot of things. And then we'll pop that straight into the oven. We've got some very clever plastic handled pans actually that go in the oven, which is good. And then we'll just mix this together. This will be ready to have a taste of by now. So we've got a little bit of that spinach. I'm going to put that kale in with our cod. So I'm going to take some of this fresh mint. And then straight in there. So bags of freshness. So that kind of rich, sort of preserved, lemony flavour, the tomatoes, all the spices, we then lighten right up with fresh mint. I'm just going to get a bowl. We'll try this with some bread and some of the avocado. Please, just about thanks. Thanks.
No.
You're alright?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to sleep.
You had to sleep, did you? Well, don't rub it in. I hope my kids tomorrow morning are sympathetic. We'll see. Okay, so let's just pop this on here. We'll have a little taste. I think this is just going to add to what we were trying up earlier, really, with the breads and the dukkah and the oil and the feta. And it's the kind of thing that keeps and gets a little bit better tomorrow. These kind of spices.
I like the fact that it's vegetarian. I really struggle with that. No. But I really struggle with vegetarian dishes.
Do you?
Trying to think of what to do.
Yeah.
Because my house is very meat orientated.
Is it?
Yeah, so trying to turn them and have something, at least one vegetarian dish a week.
Yeah.
So this is definitely
done. It's quite nice as well if you had chickpeas in. Tin of chickpeas in there. Yeah, I think so. And then maybe just a little, I quite like a little crumbling of feta on there. Just tiny little bits so you get that. It's almost like a seasoning rather than, sprinkling cheese on top. This kind of just gives it that sort of sour saltiness, which I think works really well. Right, have a try that with all we've made. I am just going to add the kale in with our cod. It won't be a second. That's in here. Yeah, okay. So our phyllo parcels are nearly ready as well.
That's fantastic.
You like that?
Yeah.
Good. Well, it's all kind of designed to work with your product.
Yep.
For me, all that sits on a table lovely. And I thought it would be nice just to sort of, I know you said, traditionally you eat it with, at the beginning of a meal.
Yeah.
And I know what it's like, you fill up with it, it's all yummy and lovely, and then you don't have time for your main course, do you? But I thought it would work nicely with it. Maybe you can sneak it in and tell them there's meat in there. Don't tell them. But even if you had a little bit left over roast lamb or something, just shred it all up, pop it in.
Shred it in.
Yeah. If you ever get any, I don't know how old are your kids?
He's 14.
Right, so you probably don't get a lot of leftovers, do you?
No. His head's permanently in.
I know, my son's coming up 5 and he just needs feeding every hour.
Yeah.
He's getting worse as he gets older, not better.
It's amazing how quickly they grow up. All of a sudden, he's went through sizes of trousers in 1 year. Took a stretch. I'm just standing here eating.
Absolutely, go for it. I mean, what was it? 8 o'clock in the morning. We're eating spiced tagine. What is it? What time is it? 29 in the morning. Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there.
We'll have to leave the hotel too early for breakfast. As soon as I come in and smelt the eggs,
Oh.
So, bring them over this side.
Did you stay in Keswick?
Yeah.
Some people are going off up climbing mountains, but you can't actually see them yet. No, you can't see anything. You can see the end of the road, and that's about it. That is about it. No, Vari's going to want to climb mountains tomorrow morning, I think.
Do you think you'll have recovered by then?
No.
She's going to be so grumpy tomorrow.
From the floor to the bed.
Yeah, that's the mountain.
We've already agreed that we don't need to speak tomorrow. Or Monday. Maybe not Tuesday either. We'll see.
Still good.
Yeah. Not that we've fallen out, we've just had our fill. So all I'm doing is I'm just making sure that any of that excess, we're just kind of absorbing that, just to make sure they're not greasy.
Yeah, next time remind me to turn my phone off.
John, you're doing a week on Wednesday, mate.
I know.
Only for an hour.
Yeah, I know.
An hour's fine.
Yeah.
John, is that one's good, 24 not so good?
Well,
Is that call you get when he goes, John, I've got an idea. Yes. Oh my
wrong
word.
number.
Oh my word, how many of those have we had?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I've had more good than bad.
Next time he says right idea, just hang up.
Yeah. So there's the little phyllo parcel. So we've got some of that feta dip in there. We've got some wilted spinach, and then we've got some of the dukkah in there. So, have you got some space? Have you got some space to have a little try?
Oh yeah.
Oh, good, good. It might be a little bit warm, but have a go. See what you think.
That's hot.
Is it? Oh, sorry. That's my chef's hands. I'm sorry.
Do you know, I'll just sit
doing
in here and let it cool down.
Yeah. I do that quite a lot. I've made the best burglar ever. I don't think I've got any fingertips. No fingerprints at all.
So do you think you'll do this again, the 24-hour?
Rob wants to do 48 hours, but me and Barry are doing it.
Is Rob doing it on his own?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a 24-hour sleep.
Sleepathon.
Yeah, watch me.
Your kids know that.
I'm gonna live stream me sleeping for 24 hours. It'll be amazing. It'll trend and everything. Starts at 4:45 this afternoon. I've got 45 minutes to switch everything off and go home. So all I've done with the kale is I've just cooked it down a little bit of water and a little bit of butter, really simply. And the key is not to overcook it, otherwise it kind of does get a little bit slimy. And then we've just seasoned it a little bit. Okay? We try and season things all along the way.
Can you get this now?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Nice? Good. So we've made a few things out of not too many different ingredients. And we kind of used your dukkah as a seasoning all along the way. So let me show you this cod. So let me show you how it's worked with the butter. So the butter's disappeared, but it's disappeared into the cod, into the fish. So that's probably not far off being cooked.
Oh, it's great.
Usually I just sort of, it's firm and it springs back. it's pretty much cooked. But we're just going to give it one more minute because we can and we have time, and then we'll serve it up with the kale. And like even this spooned on top of the cod, it would work really, really well. Really well. That's kind of worth just making. And if you have leftovers, just blend it all up with a pint of vegetable stock and a lovely soup.
Oh.
So I always say make more of what you need.
Yeah.
Because it always opens up so many opportunities.
Change it into something.
Yeah, definitely. And it's the kind of dish that. Sorry?
The lemons, how you regurgitate things, lemon drizzle and then.
Yeah. So we'd make lemon drizzle, lemonade, lemon curd, and then we would then salt the lemons. And that was probably 6 months ago, and they just sat there.
Something that I've never considered.
Right.
Brilliant.
Well, yeah, it's one of those things, because preserved lemon you can't replicate.
No,
You can't replicate it, and you can't always buy it everywhere. I mean, Olive Zets, they've got these lovely big ones, and they're probably available in lots of delis, but not always.
Fantastic idea.
Yeah.
Simple things like that.
Yeah, definitely, and it big flavours. Come and have a try.
I want to be better.
Sorry?
I want
You want to come and have a try? Come around and have a try. Come on.
I'll stay this side.
Come on. Not if you want feeding, you don't. Come and have a try.
Depends how desperate you are to eat.
Yeah. How hungry are you?
We will pronounce the wife and husband because you didn't read all the lines.
Well, I can grab it for you.
Yes, you will. If you wanted to drive me down to Cornwall, you most certainly will.
Right, so.
She won't come in, so.
Will she not?
No. So I've been sent to get.
Then more for you.
Yeah.
More for you. Yeah, come and have a try.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to squeeze the lemon over I keep wanting to call it trout. It's nothing like trout. It's cod. It's completely just like cod. Okay. And then we'll just add that bit of lemon juice and that bit of butter. Will kind of make that little nap of sauce. Okay. So just a little bit of warmth there. And we'll just kind of bring it together. So we'll take the kale straight on the top there. I'm going to lift cod. It's a good portion. Mr. John Fell's ears have pricked up. Right, let's get this on the heat. And just, you see how all those juices and flavours, you can't make those. You've got to do that to get this. And all it is that, and a little bit of lemon juice and that little bit of butter. And then you just get this really lovely fab sauce. And you don't need a ton of it, it's not like gravy. You just need that little emulsion of flavour. And that's going to make all the difference. If I push all that down there. And you've got that lovely. And it's quite intense because it's lemon juice and butter and the fish juices, but it's just kind of enough just to lift it. Okay, there we go. You have a little taste with your dukkah on the top there. Hopefully that that'll give you. We'll do it justice. You like it?
Love it.
Good. Not enough to come and get it though, did you? Hey? Do you want some of the tagine?
I can live with that.
Oh, that's nice.
I don't do some. I do this.
You like it? Good.
What fish is that?
It's cod. It's just a fillet of cod. And all we've done is we've put a very thin slice of butter on the top, and then we've topped it with the spicy dukkah. The spicy dukkah, and then we've just roasted it in the oven so that the butter drops through the fish, the dukkah crisps up, and then all we've done is we've deglazed the pan with a tiny bit of butter and lemon juice at the end, just to kind of bring all the nice, lovely sort of cooking juices.
Have you left the skin on?
I did, yeah.
Just to keep it together.
Just to kind of keep it all moist and pan fried, but then the white side of the fish, that's what we topped.
It looks cracking though.
Because I wanted all the butter and juices to push through.
Simple but impressive to
Yeah. Well,
come on, try that.
Isn't it?
What can I say?
No. Help.
Does
Yeah.
look absolutely
But come on,
fantastic.
But thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope maybe we've kind of shown you a few little bits and bobs with your fab product. Good luck with it.
Thank you very much.
You're already doing a great job. So
Yeah.
go for it. Yeah. So hopefully a few little ideas just to add to your great product.
Fantastic.
All right. Thank you. Right. We'll get tidied up. Do another hour. Thank you. All right. They're all sort of waking up a little bit now and starting to come round and sort of start thinking about food.
Daylight now.
Rob's due for a feed again, I reckon. Yeah, you got yourself, yeah. Absolutely. Go for it, John.
That's really good. Yeah, that's good.
Good.
You